Another black YouTuber that I unsubscribed to was Blvck Nostalgia. She's kind of like a black bookworm, nerdy type girl, hippie, and she makes a lot of videos on black women and this kind of race issues and stuff like that. So I'm listening to it, and she's known for what her breakout video was when she made a video about brothers liking white women for black features, but not liking it on real black women. She's one of those black women that get all bitter and uptight over Kim Kardashian and shit like that. But well, it's whatever. So she made a video about catcalling, and the thing is, you can tell a lot of these feminists. You can tell a lot of black YouTubers if they're feminist or not, if they're making a video on catcalling and street harassment. It's one thing when you make a video about thirsty dudes or just kind of, you know, dumb shit that niggas do, but you can really tell when they're feminists when they use the term catcalling and street harassment. And I'm tired of women bringing this up as if it's a pandemic, and it's not. It's really not a big deal. And I hate how women have this ridiculous sixth sense or paranoia that men on the street, especially black men on the streets, are out to rape women, and black women are such an easy prey, and dudes are trying to do all kinds of crazy shit. I'm like, relax. Half the dudes and people you see on the street wouldn't even hurt you. But maybe that she just lives in a crazy town or city or whatever. But she made a video about catcalling, and it was the typical stuff of thugs, hyper masculine black men, doing the most for attention. And even though I didn't like the title, I was kind of going along with it. I was like, yeah, okay, yeah, there's some black men who are thirsty and just need attention, and they will do anything to get your number or get some type of contact information. I've seen this in person. I've seen this actually the day before the Million Man March. I was on the Greyhound Bus, and there was a woman and one of the employees. I guess he's like a janitor or a handyman. And he was like a crackhead looking dude. You know, he's a but he's a crackhead looking dude. But usually those dudes aren't crazy. Usually just like those little nice type dudes that just kind of humble themselves so they can get respect because people they know that when people look at them, people gonna make fun of them. So they usually have to be super nice. But anyways, the dude came up to the woman, and she kept, he kept trying to get her phone number. Like, you're beautiful. He started off with the whole, you're beautiful, you're beautiful, you're a wonderful woman, da da da. So he floods her with compliments, and then he goes for the jugular. Can I have your number? And she was like, nah, I don't have a phone. Or then he goes like, okay, what's your Facebook? Do you have an Instagram? Email? Do you have a pager? And he keeps asking like all these millions of questions on how he can get in contact, and she didn't give it up. And she was like, well, I have a boyfriend, and and he was like, well, we can't be friends. We can't talk. We can't be friends. I was like, okay, yeah. But the thing, I get that dudes, there are dudes like that who do the most. Um, so I forgot my point, but yeah, it happens every now and then. But is it really life threatening? Is it really, you know, because that's kind of like the shit that I question. Like a lot of these black feminists go on YouTube and they make it seem like a guy trying to talk to them on the street or just out the blue is like life threatening. Like this was like a life and death situation, and they were, you know, it was either, you know, I give him my number or I get my throat slashed or something. They over exaggerated. But back to her video, she's talking and talking about street harassment, and what bothered me the most was when she's talking about hyper masculine thugs, trying to be all street talking yo yo yo, but she talks about how she doesn't like nice guys who try to be gentlemen about it, or they feel entitled that, oh, just because you talk to me like a woman, like a respectable person, I'm supposed to give you the number. And my thing is that I can respect women. Not all gentlemen or nice guys deserve a number. You don't have to give it up if you don't want to. But my thing is that women sound crazy because you went from one extreme to another. The arrogant, cocky street dude, and then you show your dislike for him, but you also show dislike for the nice guy, the guy that came up to you right. And the funny thing is that black women, especially on YouTube, are always complaining about there's not enough good black men, there's not enough nice guys, there's not enough this. And I'm like, okay, why are you acting big-headed now when black men treat women with respect, and then you shove it off as if like, yeah, you shove it off like, yeah, yeah, you can be nice, but I'm not gonna give you the number. Like, why the fuck you feeling all entitled and shit? Just because you're a nice guy doesn't mean shit. I'm like, okay, it doesn't, but the thing is that a lot of these black women are sending wrong messages because they're talking about nice guys. There's not enough good black men out there, and the thing is like you specify good black men as being respectable black men. So it's like, okay, all he has to do is just say some nice things to you, open a door or two for you, and he's a shoo-in. But then women play it off, and they play arrogant and be like, well, nice guys are just as lame or as just unattractive as the hyper masculine street dude. And I'm like, so what does that leave you? Yeah, so I kind of just kind of question it, like, where does that leave you? And and I looked at other videos that she made, and there was an old video she made, I think like 5 months ago, and she was in a, it was called Black Girls Solidarity, and she was on this radio show, and with a couple sisters, like two other sisters, and they were talking about various topics, and like usual, what a lot of black women now on Facebook are doing, on YouTube are doing, or specifically getting YouTube accounts just to talk about Tommy, as if he's such a big deal. And they when it leads to the topic of Tommy Sotomayor, like, what do you think about Tommy? It's like, okay, it's okay that you hate him. Everybody hates him. But I didn't like that these three black women were sitting around. They weren't just down talking Tommy, and they can down talk him all they want. But I'm irritated that they're talking about Tariq Nasheed and Dr. Umar, and I'm like, okay, why are you downing Tariq Nasheed and Umar Johnson? The thing is, they didn't really specify like the issues they had on him, but they just kind of made it seem like Tariq has an audience for losers, and he's teaching men how to dog women and shit like that. But they specifically just talked about Tommy. It was really just like 90%. It was actually really like 95% Tommy, and then like they just mentioned Tariq and Dr. Umar, and I'm like, You bitches have the gall to disrespect Tariq Nasheed and Tariq Na- Tariq Nasheed and Dr. Umar Johnson, who are doing way more, a lot more than you guys doing. You guys ain't putting up a goddamn thing for anybody, especially black people. Bunch of dumb bitches coming up together talking about they're doing solidarity for black girls. Where's your black girl businesses? Where are your black girl schools? Where are your black girl scholarships? Where are your black girl businesses? Y'all ain't doing all it was just a bunch of gossiping on like myopic issues. And like this is the thing why I don't like black women in media, because it just turns into gossip, and they don't talk about anything constructive. It's just about, what's your opinion on this? What's your opinion on that? Oh, black men don't come correct, and it's like black men this, black men that. And it's like okay, these are your dusty dudes. Okay, and then when you elevate the class and you elevate dudes who are educated, now it's like, oh well, he's lame. He ain't doing it right. And I'm not saying that they were talking about that, but just in general, with how black women are. But I really did get highly offended when they downgraded, you know, Tariq Nasheed and Dr. Umar Johnson, because I'm like, these men, Tariq is putting a powerful documentary series, the best black, documentary series ever. And we can gender bait it if you want. Like, what black woman has such a kick-ass documentary series? None. None. What black woman has a black, school for girls? None. None of these black YouTubers are doing anything for their community. All they're doing is just doing commentary on current events, and then they acting like just because they have um 50,000 views that they're popular and all that. Just a bunch of women gossiping and talking crazy. You know, you know, they're doing way more than you, but you're so busy worrying about Tommy as if he's like the representative of black men. But I just had to unsubscribe to her because I was just tired of foolishness, and she did talk about other stuff on her radio about black men wanting to lower their standards. You know, and the thing is, I can agree with them. Black women should never lower their standards. You know, black men, black women really need to get black men motivated to do better. But most of the topics on that radio show is just stupid, gossipy, nothing constructive. I'm tired of black women, especially black female YouTubers, always looking at the dusty black male as the catalyst or as the foundation of black manhood. That if every nigga is walking around with no job, no car, no life, you know, looking for a woman to stay with, as if that's every dude. And women, that's the problem, is that the D-boy era has like expired, and now women are just stuck looking for an alternative. And the thing is that they've exhausted their alternatives to death, to where really nobody really wants them, because they've been such a pain to you know the D boys. They've been such a pain to deal with by good black men, because we've been turned down multiple times by them because we're lame. And the thing is now we just have a bunch of angry, bitter black women running around throwing shade to everybody. And my solution is just that I I think black men really just need to master their sexual organs because more I can't imagine it getting worse. You know, I can't imagine. I just lost my train of thought real quick. Like I can't imagine, the situation getting worse. I can't imagine it. But I lost my train of thought. But that's all I gotta say.